Hello, good evening to all. Good evening, everyone. Before we get started, I just wanted to say that I have a fantastic opening joke prepared for this moment. But then I remembered this isn't a comedy show, so let's stick to the safer plan and dive right into it. Let me just give a quick intro about myself. My name is Asra Moidin. I head talent acquisition for a company called Foodup, and I've been in this talent acquisition professional for more than 18 plus years. So I think it would be better to say that I would be the right person to talk about how to crack the interview. I wouldn't say that it's in my personal opinion and my experience, what I'm sharing. There could be different views and other things. Hopefully, you can take a lot of takeaways from my talk today. And happy to see quite a lot of people who have joined this session. And I'm expecting that will get used, going to get benefit from this session. So let's move on to the topic as I gave my introduction already. So as you all see that the caption, which clearly says it's about how to crack an interview. So it is not a rocket science, but still there are few things which we can give recommendations or suggestions for you guys to prepare. Quite a lot of people come to me, they come and ask me, what, Ashrar, I have so many qualifications, so many certifications, but still I'm not able to crack the interview. So is this the problem with the certification? It is the problem with the educational qualification, or it is the problem with the skill? It could be anything. We don't know. It could be the way how you present yourself to the interviewer is what matters at the end of the day. So that is very, very important. So presentation and communication skill plays a major role. As soon as someone enters into an interview, we look how he presents himself, how he interprets, how he understands, and how he's responding. So that's very, very important. So always dress for the occasion, irrespective of what the culture of the company could be. But there is a saying which always is very close to my heart, which says that don't dress for the job you have, dress for the job you want to have. So dress, always go formal when you go for an interview. And very important, you're going for an interview discussion. It could be a time fixed, it could be 30 minutes, it could some interviews could long last for even 1 hour. So be aware of the situation, try to be brief, and if the interview is going to take more time, you can elaborate and you can talk all those things. So let's go one by one. First, I would like to talk to you on the do's which you have to focus. One, you have to be well prepared about the company. Quite a lot of candidates, what happens is post this COVID, a lot of people are applying for multiple jobs when the recruiter is calling for a discussion, for a technical hiring discussion. And it's so disappointing that when we say that, so what do you know about our company? And the candidate themselves will say that, sorry, I've been attending multiple interviews. That itself is a red flag. So you should be very clear for which company you're applying. So ensure that you get a lot of information about the company before in hand. Don't show that you are unprepared. It shows that you are not eager and you are not dedicated to the company in which you are applying for. So that plays a major, major role. So try to understand the company in and out. Now you have all the technology in hand. You have Google, you have the website, you have LinkedIn. So there are so many things. Even you can go to Glassdoor, social media, try to read more about the reviews and other things before even applying for the role. So that is a very important thing. The first thing what you need to focus on is to understand the company in and out. And the second important thing what you need to focus on is please read the JD. Quite a lot of people don't do that. I do. I'm not saying everyone, but there might be times, we are so desperate and we show desperation and we apply for the roles. And that might turn out to be pathetic at times when the JD is completely different and the role you're applying is different. So that is also a red flag. So always ensure that you just don't see the title and don't apply for any job. Just go through the JD, what exactly the roles and responsibilities they're expecting. So note down, read it, write it down, some of the points which you are not clear. These are the questions which you need to ask at the end of the discussion. So that's very, very important. So most of the time, what I see is most of the candidates, they don't read the JD completely. They look at the designation, they look at the package, and they say, yes, this is what I want to, and they say apply. That's not the right approach. Go through the JD, check what is the KRA, what is the KPIs. So that is the second thing. Third thing, so when you're coming for interview, what you're going to carry with you, along with the nice smile, your personality, and also your resume. Quite a lot of people, they fold the resume, they put it, sometimes some of the candidates, they don't even carry a resume because, we are going digital, right? So they are like, no, I didn't bring my resume because I have sent in a mail. So it's always better to carry a resume with you, which is hard copy of a resume. Maybe two would be much better, I would suggest, and hand over the CV. And very important thing, you need to mention your skills and your work, what you've done, what kind of projects you worked, everything clearly. Please don't mention just to get a job saying that you have all these skills. What happens is most of the times, I mean, some of them probably, not everyone, uh, they show the desperation and they mention a lot of skills which is not actually required. And when the interviewer asks question, they get, they go silent. So those are the red flags which actually is not good. Whatever you know, whatever you are aware of, please mention those skills. You don't have to show that, like everything. I mean, at the end of the day, as they say that whatever you know is little, right? There are a lot of things to learn as well. So highlight the things what you have done and what you have knowledge and hands-on experience. That's very important. And the very, very important thing is like, uh, then the next level is the interview discussion starts. In the interview discussion, what happens is sometimes we jump the gun, right? We are very anxious. We show that we are so desperate for the job and all those things. No, you don't have to be very desperate. You can be calm, composed, and relax, stay calm, take 2 or 3 breaths, like deep breath, which will make you relax, calm, and don't show any kind of anxiousness on your face. Try to be on time. If not, maybe 15 minutes earlier, that would be much better. You can go to the restroom, you can ensure that you are freshening up for the discussion and all those things. That is also plays a major role. You can have a look at the office culture, what's happening when you're getting into the company, right? So those things plays a major role. And when the discussion is happening, the technical discussion, if they ask you to into the normal thing, what they use, tell me about yourself. So you don't have to tell the things what there in the resume. Rather, you can talk about your personal side. You can open up the personal side about your family, where are you from, what's your interest, hobbies, what you do in your free time, because this will, able to connect with them in terms of culture, whether you are going to culturally be fit for the organization. Sometimes, you might like doing a lot of charity work, and the company might be looking for people who want to do charity work. And some companies will look for people who wanted to do sports, and probably you might be interested in playing cricket. This company might be looking for organizing a cricket tournament at a corporate level. So all those things, when you talk at the personal thing, in spite of jumping straight the gun in terms of your qualification and education, talk about your personal self. It has to be brief. Check whether you have enough time. As I mentioned, that check how much, minutes the interview has been scheduled. If it's for half an hour, be brief. If it's more than 1 hour, you ask them, is it okay for you to explain or elaborate on those things? Don't stuck into one topic and going on talking, like continuously without allowing the interviewer to interrupt. So be more specific, be brief is what I would say. And very, very important thing, there could be people who have joined this session today. Someone could be from marketing, someone could be from HR, someone could be from technical, someone could be from sales and all those things. What happens is most of the time, what the interviewer or the recruiter see in a CV is the keywords that would be missing. So ensure that you have mentioned all the keywords. For example, if you're a salesperson and you're working for a SaaS, you sold SaaS product or credit cards, mention those things very clearly, because that could be a deal breaker, because they might be looking for someone who has done those kind of sales in the previous organization. That could really help this organization as well. So you have to mention that. And very important, what happens is most of the time in sales, they don't mention the percentage, how much percentage sales, then what was the target, how much sales they achieved. So these are the minute things they need to highlight. So what kind of product and services they have sold, and what kind of challenges they have faced, they can also mention. That could also be a good point to do that. And always mention the start date and end date in an organization. Very rarely, I'm not saying most of it, some of them tend to miss the dates in the resume. For example, they worked in 4 or 5 companies, and probably they will not mention the date, which date they started, which date they ended. So that would be even more confusing, and it shows that lack of professionalism. So the authenticity and the trust factor will be lost during the discussion because those informations are not mentioned in the CV. So the recruiter might have his own reservation. So ensure that you mention all those details, your start date and also your end date, so you don't miss it. That's very important. And in case if you are a fresher, quite a lot of people who are applying for the first time, I do understand because I was there 18 years back. I was like you guys, freshers. So mention on the projects what you have done. I'm sure for engineering folks, you would have done a lot of projects, especially for MBA. And even for these days, I see a lot of people have done a lot of projects and other things. Try to highlight those projects and talk about those projects. So that is very, very important. And in case if you have traveled abroad, mention those things because those are the very important factor in case if you have any visa or any on-site experience or you have traveled for short term or long term, do mention saying that travel on term, long term or short term. So, and next thing, when you're having a discussion with the interviewer, the very important thing what you need to look is you have to be neutral. You need to listen first, understand, and then speak. You need to provide solution. That's what the organization are looking for. Most of the time, what happens is, I'm sorry. Most of the time, what happens, we consume a lot of time. We talk so many things which may not be relevant for the role. We will be spending too much time on our project, or probably we may be spending too much time on our personal details and all those things. So try to understand what the interviewer is expecting. So try to be eager, show that eagerness and ask more questions. Let them ask more questions to you. And at the end of the discussion, you need to ask questions, right? So at the end of the thing, please ensure that you ask minimum of 5 questions to them. It could be related to the role, it could be related to the KRA, it could be related to the KPI. And please don't ask only fixated about the salary or other thing. Just ask whether this is an immediate role you're looking to fill, it is a new position or replacement. What is the success of this role means to you? What is the first 3 months goal for this role? What is the 6 months expectation out of this role? All those things plays a major role. And what kind of tools or projects I'm going to work with, whether this project requires to handle a team for experienced people, or if someone you can ask whom I will be reporting to. All those things plays a really, really major role, right? So these are some of the do's which you have to look at. There are so many things, which cannot be covered in this half an hour session, but I'm just highlighting some of the things with my years of experience. Since if you see that I've been doing interviews across the globe, I'm doing it in India, you take it, you name it, like Australia, New Zealand, Pakistan, take it Egypt, UK, Ireland, US, and Canada. So I've been doing this day and night. You could say that I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. So I'm very passionate about recruitment. That keeps driving me, right? So I try to understand what kind of challenges we are facing to get the right candidate. So having said that, I think we are already come to close of half of our time. I'll move to what are the things you should not do. Very important thing. Please don't go late. Quite a lot of people, what they do is they come late and they get so tensed, and the interviewer will have they might have other commitments, they might have other projects, so it's all been booked clearly. If you going and waiting, it's not a bad thing because at the end of the day it shows that your commitment, that you're looking forward to getting this job. But when you go late and if they are available, then if you're not able to do it, then it's not a good sign. So ensure that you are always punctual, you're always on time. I will highly recommend for people to go 15 minutes before for the interview session. And very, very important, some of the time what happens is when you discuss some people is some personal question, like you need to come out of your comfort zone. Sometimes people might ask you some personal question which might be which you may not like it, but you should control your emotion. That's emotional intelligence quotient what we're saying. Some people will get emotional cry, some people will laugh too much and all those things. So ensure that you are reading the room. That's very, very important. And don't miss crucial information for the job. For example, you have traveled to, say, UK, or you have traveled to any country, and this particular company has got their operations in those countries. Try to highlight those points, saying that I've traveled to this country and I've been there for as a tourist, or you can say that I've been there as a student, or you can also mention that I worked there. So that will be able to connect, and it will give more perspective towards your cultural knowledge and your international exposure, all those things. And don't be too rigid, be flexible. And next thing, what I would like to highlight is honesty and authenticity. Quite a lot of people mention so many things. They mention that they know A to Z of the skills, but when they start doing the interview, and you are actually wasting the time of the interview, because they think that you know all these things, and they start asking question. And then if you don't respond to that, then I think from that the interview goes downhill. So I would highly recommend you to be very honest and very, very true to what you have mentioned in the CV. So don't put things or skills which you don't have it, because you will be caught during the discussion. And I have also seen quite a lot of colorful resumes, like people make a lot of colorful dashboard kind of thing and all those stuff. It's not required. Resume should be, it should not be more than 2 page. Your resume should be only 2 page. Quite a lot of people might come and ask me, like, I'm experienced. I have worked in 6 companies, 7 companies. I have got 20 years of experience. For those, even the previous 4 or 5 companies, you can just mention the company name and designation and date of joining and quitting. But the last 2 organizations, you can elaborate and you can show what you have done. So those are the things which are very, very important. And quite a lot of people, what happens is they will jump in the discussion saying that, what is the salary? They will be very keen even before the interviewer ask any question. Could you tell me more about what is the salary of this role? Whether I'm going to get any on-site opportunity and all those things. Don't uh, get too anxious or excited about it, and that's very, very important. Post the interview get over, don't follow too much with the recruiter for feedback, because they might think that you're pushing your limit, and probably they might think you're so desperate, right? So at the same time, in case if you have got any gaps in your career, right, you can clearly mention this month to this month you had a break because of so and so reason. So it's all perfectly all right. And a very, very important thing, please ensure that you highlight your achievements. If you have done some certification, or if you have done some kind of if you have traveled any country or anything, all those things are very, very important. And also ensure that your LinkedIn page, right, social media professional, your presence on social media plays a major role, because some of the technical guys, they go and check the LinkedIn page as well. So ensure that it's really good. And one last thing I would say is, like, the email ID, personal email ID. Some of them will have a fancy name saying that cool at 22, cool22 at Gmail. I'm just giving an example. So keep it very professional, at least for interview. That will really be helpful. And those are the things which I think at this point of time will make sense. And there are so many things to look into it. Considering the interest of time, these are the do's and don'ts. And having said that, uh, when I started, let me tell about my story. 18 years back, when I was looking for a job, I did a lot of mistakes. I used to be very energetic. I used to talk a lot. I won't give time for the interviewer to ask any question. And I used to come back and say that, what's wrong with me? I did really good, but I don't know why they have not selected. So it's always better, to ask feedback from them. Try to get the feedback, what went wrong. And if they are not giving you the feedback, it's okay. Don't push too much. If they come back, it's okay. If not, fine, you can move on, because that is not the only company you have multiple companies. Maybe you may not be culturally fit, or you may not be technically fit. There will be a job fit, everything. There will be other factors involved in it. So it doesn't mean that you failed in that interview, that is the end of the world. No, you have many more job openings. The more you attend the interview, the more confidence you gain, right? I hope you all agree with that. Someone rightly said, until you try, it is always impossible. So you have to keep trying, and I'm sure You all will be successful. And I'm looking forward that this session would have benefited you. With that, I'm happy to open the floor for questions. If you have anything, you can ask any question to me. That's great. Like we have quite 66 people today. And having said that, not a bad day for a weather like this in Chennai. So great. So any questions, you can just post it in the comment section. I'm more than happy to answer. So if you guys are not asking, I'm going to choose you, handpick. Okay, let's see who is the lucky guy. So Mansoor Ahmad, what do you have for me? Mansoor, Mansoor, are you there? I know you are there, buddy. Having coffee and bhaji with this cold weather. So you have any questions for me? Hello? Okay, I don't know. Mansoor, is he typing? Thank you. I can see that. Thank you for this wonderful session. What should be good answer? See, strength and weakness. Yeah, finally someone has asked a very good question. I think, is anyone talking? I can hear some voice cracking. Okay, there is no, like there is no customized answer for strength and weakness. You have to be very honest and you have to talk about the strength and weakness. You will know what are the strengths you have and what are the weakness you have. You have to be realistic. You cannot only talk about the strength, you have to talk about the weakness as well. Sometimes what happens is we get uh, you know buried with so much of work. We may not be expert in multitasking, right? And maybe we are kind of guy, we are focused on one particular job and we don't focus on other things. And work-life balance, that is also could be a weakness. So all those things, there is no customized answer. So I cannot give you a customized answer for you. But whatever you genuinely feel, what is your strength, what is your weakness, you have to tell. Like that is all up to you guys to share all those information. Um, when do we ask for interview feedback, after the interview or later? Okay, so this is again a normal question. Everyone is eager to know how they have performed during the discussion, right? They are quite anxious to know whether yes or no, so that they will get a closure. You also need to understand, for one particular role, current situation, there are multiple people applying for this job opportunity. So the recruiter themselves will not be in a position to give you the feedback immediately, because they need to review CVs. As you said, for given an example, for one role, how many CVs do you think a candidate will apply? There will be 300 people applying for the same role, and there will be one role. And we cannot take a call with one candidate. So we have to put forward multiple CVs to the technical team, and we have to show that these are the CVs what we have received. At times there might be a delay. You can just, maybe after one day, you can just send maybe if you have mobile number, you can call them and ask for the feedback. And if you don't get a response from mobile, probably you can drop an email. And if they don't respond, it's okay, no problem, they are busy with something else. Maybe after 3 or 4 days, you can again, you can ask for the feedback. If you're not getting it, then probably you have to drop on and you have to move with other things, because they might be busy with other screening interviews and other things. Most of them will normally respond and they will give you the feedback. It's not any company will hold feedback just like that, right? So I think that's a very good question. Any tips to crack higher designation role? Yeah, it's again, it's all about leadership is what we are talking about. How you're going to manage the team. That's something which is very, very important. Especially for higher designation, I will tell you, companies doesn't have business problem. Please understand this very clearly. Company doesn't have business problem. They have people problem. If you are a good person in terms of solving people problem, I think 90% of the issues will be solved, because we are dealing with people day in, day out. We are not dealing with robots. So you should be really good in terms of managing people, managing stakeholder, and getting people together and make them work for common vision. And especially, I like this quote, which is very close to my heart. When we dream alone. When we dream together, we are making it a reality. So we have to have that vision. We have to have that as a team we need to work to get this thing. Any company cannot say that because of one individual the company has grown. It's a team sport like cricket or football. It's not tennis, or it's not any other golf kind of sport. So it's a team sport. Corporate or company is a team thing. Okay, what is the best answer for why you want to leave your current organization? See, that again depends upon you. What is the real reason? It could be a career progression, or it could be a new domain, or it could be don't bring salary, because salary is the default. People will know that could be one of the reason. Don't bring it as first thing saying. Quite a lot of people will say, you know what, my salary is very low. I'm not happy, so that's what I'm looking for. So you have that impression that you're only looking towards money, so that's not the right answer. So start off with why you're looking for a job change. It could be the domain, or it could be the technology, what you're working is outdated, or you've been in this company for a very long time and you want to explore and you want to expand your horizon. Probably this role would have higher visibility of handling a team, or whereas the current role does not have that potential. So all those things plays a major role, how you put forward for that. There is no customized answer. As I told you, try to be very, very honest to the interviewer, and probably that will do wonders for you. Next, moving on, how to handle situation when you mention some skills in the resume but could not explain it properly with an example. Excellent question. Be honest and say that, sorry, I have mentioned this, I'm learning or I'm exploring. Don't try to, have a kind of argument kind of thing saying that, what, this is what it is. And don't waste. You say that, these are the things which I would like to learn. So I have mentioned it. I'm sorry, but I don't have hands-on experience, so that they will move on to the next question. So they will know that you have interest in this. At least you are aware about the technology. Not many people are aware, right? But at least you are aware about the technology. So that way, that could be the best thing to do. And yeah, I think, do I miss anything else at this point of time? Okay. So, Ananda, you have any questions for me? Okay. So Anand doesn't have any question. I see Rajesh. Rajesh, do you have any question for me? So this is the best way, when we start asking questions, people will leave the participation room or the meeting. Anyone else? Anyone has got any questions for me at this point of time?
Yeah,
Okay.
hi.
Yeah, we have, I don't know, someone, Shiva, please, if you're driving, just park it and you can take this session. If not, I would highly recommend you to focus on driving. And yes, I have hands up. GP Mathur. Yes, yes, Mathur, please go ahead. You can type your question. Is Mathur there? Okay, so I don't know what happened to, yeah,
Hi, Asrar.
yep.
Nisha here.
Hi.
Yeah, how are you doing? Thank you for the amazing session. It was great, insightful.
It's
Will we get a write-up for the today's session in Keridwar? Are you giving any write-up or
I don't have it. If you want, I can get it organized with Yogeshwari.
yeah, please do because it'd be helpful for us in future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Mathur,
thank
I think you're trying to ask me some question, but I don't know for some reason. Maybe you can type your question, Mathur. I will be more than happy to help you out. Okay, how do we need to connect with the interviewer? Is it? That's your question? No? I don't see his question. Yogeshwari, anyone can see what Mathur is trying to ask, because I can see he's been raising his hand for some time. Anyways, I have just 1 more minute left for the session. Uh, so, sorry, maybe you can reach out to me, Mathur, in LinkedIn. I will be more than happy to talk to you in private. And thank you so much, everyone. All the very best to you. And I want you all to crack the interview and get good job. And all the very best for your future endeavors. And thank you so much for joining this session and making this evening even more special for me, and even more special for a special weekend for me, I should say, because it's a Friday. So you all have your own plans, and I hope you all have a great weekend. We are fast approaching towards New Year. Wishing you all a very Happy New Year in advance. Thank you.